Okay, so I'm going to go over the power hour here for Friday. This is recently how I trade, what I traded. So power hour is very aggressive. So this is a very aggressive scalping strategy that I used, and it works really extremely well during high volatility. You have to have high volatility. So the instrument that I traded was Nasdaq or NQ. I always trade that during power hour. The time is the last hour of the US stock market. That's considered to be power hour. Get a lot of movement there. Not always, not every day, not like, especially like what we had Friday. The chart time frame that you want to trade this on is a 1 minute time frame or lower. 1 minute, 30-second, is best. Or you can go with the tick chart, say a 500 tick chart. That would be one of those three. So with the strategy, we're looking for a range and highs and lows before 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, before that power hour starts. So about 2:30, start looking for highs and lows, see if it's in a range or if it's broke out of a range. The entry on this, we want to get into a trade in the immediate direction it's moving with X amount of contracts. Let's say that's 10. The stop we're going to put on a stop order in the other direction with twice the contracts. So we're getting in with 10 with a market order, and then we're going to put on a stop with 20. What we do to lock in profits is, there's two ways you can do it. You can leave it all on and move that stop aggressively and basically you're in and out, or you can close out partial. Now I close out partial on these. So, but the one way you could do it is just push that other order, your stop order, in the direction, and when it reverses, it's going to put you in the other direction. So the way I do it, it's a little more hands-on, I guess. There's a little more action involved. And the reason is because I'm closing out part of the profits. So to lock in profits, basically, I will close out partial trade. So close out X amount of contracts. So let's say you put 10 contracts on. I'm going to close out 8. Okay. And then let the other 2 go. So when I do that, if I put on an order of 10, say to get in long, I have a stop order of 20. Okay. And I'll start pushing my stop as it moves. Once it gets into a profit, I will close out 8. But what that makes me do is I have to go back into the stop and I have to change that from 20 to 12 because I only have 2 left. And then I move that stop basically as the instrument moves. I'm aggressive with that. And then you just kind of take the reverse entry when it's given to you. Okay. That's it. So if I have 12 on, then it's going to close out 2, and I've got 10 in the opposite direction. The only other way to do that's, like I said, throw on 10, put a reverse order at 20, be real aggressive moving that stop, and then as it goes, and that's fine. That's another way to do it. And then you're in reverse the whole order, the other order's closed off. So those are your 2 options, but I'm going to show you how I did it on Friday. And then you basically just keep doing that over and over again. Okay. So in this trade, and I want to go over something. So you'll see it says 4 lots there. That's because I've already closed out 6. My priority I would love to have a hotkey or something on the keyboard that I could take a screenshot just by hitting it real quick and not have to do anything else. It just files a screenshot over into a folder. We don't have that option. So I have to prioritize what I do. Take a picture first or close and take profit first. So my priority is to close off part of the trade first and then take a screenshot. Because again, this happens very, very fast on most days. So basically before 3 p.m. Eastern, I saw that the pair had come down, had 2 bounces down here, and it pulled up and, bounced here right around where it hit here and here, this pullback here. So I said, okay, let's draw a channel line. So I drew that channel line, and then and that was about 3 p.m. So I didn't do anything the first few minutes. And then about 320, it broke out. So I traded the breakout. So I got in with 10 on the breakout, not waiting for a pullback. You're just in. Again, you got to be aggressive. So I got in with 10 here. And then when it pulled up here, I closed out 6. So this is the screenshot I took right after I closed out 6. Okay. And then again, you look to move that stop pretty aggressive. Okay. So I had moved the stop up to a little better than break even, and then it reversed and pulled back. So as it pulled back down, I went ahead and gotten short, and I was a little late to the game. I mean, it happened that quick. So I had gotten in with 10, and then as it here with 10, okay, and then have my stop loss, my stop order at 20 initially. And then as it popped down back into that channel and pushed down, well, you'll see what I did. I closed out 9 of the 10 and let one runner on. And this should be 11, but it's not. I had 8 for some reason. I mean, it's happening that quick. So you're just kind of going in, and you have to backspace in order to put a different number in, and then in the order section, and then place that stop order. So basically, though, as this keeps pushing down, you keep pushing that stop aggressively. Okay, these were very fast moves. So again, it's pushing down and it's heading toward the bottom of the channel. At this point, you don't know if it's going to get there or not. You're just real aggressive. Already closed out 9, and then I have 8 in the opposite direction. So what that's going to do is, if it pulls back up and hits this order, this buy stop, it's going to close out one. One of these buy stop orders or contracts is going to close out this sell order, and that's going to leave me with 7 in long. Okay. So there it pushed even further, and you'll see I went ahead and changed and added the other order. I had a little bit extra time there, so I pushed it down a little, not a lot. I wanted to go back, sorry. So you'll see here we were at 19,135.50. And then when I added one more contract, I dropped it to 19,125.75. So again, you're pushing that down. Okay, so back right about now, it's near the bottom of that channel. So my thinking would be that it's going to turn back around. I don't know if that's the case or not. At this point, we have no idea. So again, we're just aggressive with the stop, push it down. You kind of get what you get, but we have a reverse order on. So right now, again, if it pulls back and hits my buy stop order, it's going to close out the sell order by canceling it out with one of the buy stops, and then I'll have 8 on long. Okay, at that point. So there's a pullback, and when it pulled back, guess what? It closed out. So I had 9 buy stop orders. It closed out one of the 9 contracts, which canceled the sell. Now we're in 8 and long, and I have to go in at this point. Once that's triggered, I have to go in and put a stop in. Don't trade without a stop. The only way we can do this, though, is to because we don't know when the order is going to be triggered. The only other way to do that is have a real big safety stop out here that would close that. So what I got to do now is I go in and place that stop order. So there's my stop order of 8. And right now it's just a 1 cancel all. I didn't even go in and put in, say like 16 and double that out. So I'm waiting to see what it does, see if it pushes up, because at that point it's, this is 340 here. So, and 330. So it's probably about 339 somewhere in there. And again, we're on a 1-minute chart. So we're already up 100 on that. We're looking for it to push a little more. So there it pushed. And as it pushed up toward the top of the channel, guess what? We closed out part of that. Again, we had on 8? I had on 8 long. And then I pushed the stop up. And so right now I closed out 8 of the long contracts. So that order, I closed out 8 contracts, left 2 on to see if it pushes on up. And then I have an order of 6 to go short. So what that'll do is that'll cancel out these two and leave us with 4 in short. It's toward the end of power hour. So what I did was I decided I wouldn't keep my contract size up there real big at that point. So depending on what it does here, and again, it's toward the top of the channel. So I'm kind of waiting that out at that point. And there it pushes through the top of the channel. Now at this point, of course, I'd love to have more on than that, but we don't. So I only have 2 runners and we got like 148 that we can lock in on this move. Again, we push that stop up a little bit. And we're going to get aggressive with that and just keep trailing it. Just keep pushing that stop up. And then eventually it's going to pull back and put us in with an order of 4 because 2 of those are going to cancel out 2 of these. There it pushed up some more. As you can see, I followed it with the stop. Stop was down here, pushed it up aggressively, and I did close out 1. So at that point, when it pushed out here, once it pushed up, I went in and closed out 1 more of these contracts, and then I pushed up the stop order. Pushed up again. Guys, I just pushed the stop order up against that, under that wick. You know, because here's the thing. These things don't always move to the tops of where you think they're going to go. So I would love to see it run up here to this wick and say, well, that's our high. Okay, there's also a thing called inside tops and inside bottoms, and that would be the underside right here. Okay, so this is our top, and this is the inside of that top. So looking at support and resistance areas, I have to know that it may only go to that area. Okay, this is a big battle right now between the buyers and sellers. So again, we're just trying to get a chunk out of that. So we're aggressive with this stop. Pushed up a little more. You'll notice all I did was push my stop up. I nudged it up the wick a little. It was right there. Nudged it up under the candle. I'm just like, okay, I know it's gonna turn, or expecting it to, don't know when, and there it is. So, you know, we were aggressive. We pushed our stop up. Now we're in with 5. So I need to put in a stop order up in here. Is where I place that stop order above his high. If you're going to be aggressive with it, you'd replace or put it right here. But we want to see if this will go back down. Right now it's going back to, you know, and it's around that high, back over here, these 2 highs. So we have to see if it'll go break through that line and push back to the bottom. It may not, may bounce here and go up. So right now I need to put that order on. So there's my buy stop. I actually put it on here. And then as it pushed down, I moved it a little bit inside there. So 5 on and 5 stop at this point. It's toward the end of power hour. I mean, we got over here till 4, but it's getting a little later. It's about 3:45 in here. We're close to that. Not much of a push there, kind of a pullback. And there it pulled back to put me in long. Okay, no stop at this point. Need to get one on. And it pushed a little more. And then at that point, I put a stop on of 5, you'll notice. We're in profit. I only have 1 on as a runner, and we have a stop of 5. So at this point, I'm going to push this stop up and trail for profit, and it'll put us in with 4 in short on a pullback. So there I moved the stop up a little bit. It didn't hardly move anything. There it moved up a little more. I pushed the stop up. So at this point, again, you'll see we're back up here. We're back up around those highs. So notice how this move up, it stopped right there. That wick is right at that inside top. And then it pulled back, gave another bounce. You could draw a trend line here if you want. This happens so quick, and we're on a 1 minute. You don't have time for that. But nice bounce on a pullback, pushed up. So now we're getting a small red candle. Again, we're trailing with the stop. So we're not really doing anything but pushing that stop as it goes. There it pulled back. My stop, I had moved a little bit, and it pulled back and almost hit it right there. and there we're in short. So it moved, put me in short, and there's my buy stop. So that's my opposite order. We're in short right now. And then I have 5 on here with a 4. And what we're going to do is we're going to look for it to go short. We're going to start trailing with that stop. So I move the stop to better than break even, saying, hey, look, we've done good. Again, that's what I'm doing here, just aggressively trailing this stop. So again, it's back here where it's testing this high back here. And then if it breaks through, we'd look for it to go short. If it bounces, we'd look for it to go long term. But again, this is how we're trading it. We're just in and out. There it pushed down some, kind of briefly broke through. I don't know what time on the candle, guys. I'm not waiting for candle closes to take these pictures and close out. So you got to know that this is not probably the way this candle formed, because I'm not waiting every minute to do, well, we got 45 seconds over here, so you can see. So this is 15 minutes or 15 seconds into this candle. Okay, so aggressively push the stop down. We have an opposite order of 5, and we only have 1 on here, so that would put us in 4 long. It pushes short, we move the stop a little. So it looks like at this point we're heading back down to the bottom again, back to these lows is where we'd like to see it go, because we're already in. But we have to know that it could stop in here, at this height, could stop right, because you could see this wick right here around that, these candle bodies right here. So I could see it just kind of hanging out here and then reversing. Again, we're not looking to do that. That's more if we were out on a 3-minute or 5 looking for entries. Right now, we're looking to just move our stop. So you typically not even looking at anything other than the high point and the low point. You're typically doing something like this. You are not looking at drawing trend lines. If we were drawing trend lines, we'd have one down here. And when it broke through, we'd be in it long. And then we'd have a trend line down here. And when it broke through, we'd be in short. Again, we're not doing that. We're in a range. So we're just trading the bounces off the top and the bottom, and then we're just moving aggressively. So there, well, that is not stopped out yet. So there's my buy order pushed down. You can see the candle kind of pulled up, and it's right there. And there it put us in long. So that candle continued up and then put us in long, and we're long 4. And then we're looking to do the same thing. Close out partial. It's only 80 at that point. And I close out. I think I moved my stop real aggressive on that one and then closed out. And then when it pulled to the bottom of the channel again, I got back in. So it pulled to the bottom of the channel, and that's what we're trading. Again, we're trading up and down in this channel. Low, 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 low. So when it popped down here during this candle and popped back up, and guys, that was in like a few seconds, I think. I went in long with 20 on this one, or 15, sorry, long with 15, and put in 15 with the sell stop, basically saying I'm probably going to call it quits and be done at that point. Let's just close it out. There's a push up. We're up 380 on that one little trade. I got a little more aggressive with the contracts. But guys, we locked in a lot of profit in here already. So basically, we locked in profit on this breakout. We locked in profit on the pull down, the pull up, the pull back down. So we've locked in a lot of profit. So basically what I did was I stacked on, instead of going with the 10 and 6 and 5 lots we had here, I went with 15. I'm using part of the profit that I already locked in on these moves. Okay. And that's what I was risking here. That's why there's 15 on there. We went in with 10 here, closed partial, closed out rest. There was like 8 and 6 and 4 and 5. This was a little trade that I, closed out, and then we had to get back in when it pulled the bottom. So 15 on, basically, again, using profit we had already locked in. So we're up 380 on that. And then let me click back on that. And there's my stop move to better than break even. So when it pulled up a little further, I closed out 10. So again, we have 15 on this, closed out 10. So we were at 380 when at that last picture. I don't remember what it was up in here, but I basically closed out 10 on that. And then we still have 2 on. It looks like 177 on the remaining, or 5, sorry, 177 on the 5. Stop move to better than break even on that. So there we are pushing. So 2 lots on and 2 lots on the stop. And because it's nearing 4 o'clock, we're about to 4. So we're trailing with that stop. So I basically have my stop below this candle right here. And then I push it on up because, again, here we are. We're back up at the channel top. So if you look right here at the top of this wick, it's the high back here. And that's what we've been playing with the whole time, is this high up here, this high here, and this low here. Those are our 3 points. And as we trade on longer time frames, you guys know that I love to have a buy zone, which is down here, sell zone, which was created after this breakout, because it was originally right here. Once it broke up, then as it come back down into here, we would have put a sell zone up here and then a mid zone here from these highs. So basically it's back at that mid zone that we changed over from a sell zone, and we have 2 on. I backed it up a little bit, just seeing if I could squeeze some out. So before it pulled back, I went ahead and backed it up thinking, well, I moved that kind of aggressively. These are 1-minute candles. So I was like, and I pushed up here, and then I thought, you know what? I'm going to back it up a little bit. Let's have some fun. And again, it's almost 4 o'clock. And I'm like, I don't know that it's lost steam. I don't hold a lot of weight into candle patterns on a 1-minute chart. But guys, there's a lot of them. Here's a morning star. A morning star is not, or an evening star, does not have to be 3 candles, which is what you like to see, but it can be 4 or 5 candles. So you got an evening star. You over here, you got a bullish, engulfing candle. Here you got a morning star, which is a nice buy signal, and that is made up of 3 this is like a perfect morning star. But again, we're on 1-minute chart. I can see a big evening star here, and it didn't do anything. It just kept going. So you can't really hold a lot of weight in the candle patterns on these lower time frames. And again, we're on the 1-minute. So I just backed my stop, and you'll notice I put it right to that candle low, the start of this candle. I just thought, well, I'll back it up a little bit. I just want to have some fun with my remaining 2. And there it goes. So really glad I did back it up below that candle, because you'll see I backed it up to that candle, and this other candle here that was red wicked right down to that and almost took me out. But it did not. Still in the game. We have 2 on. Need to move the stop. So there's a push of the stop, and I closed 1. So we had 2 contracts on. I closed 1 off, and then changed this. And this is why it happens. It's a lot of action when this happens, because when you close off 1 order here, you actually have to go in and put in a 1 contract and hit the sell order. And that's how that gets closed. But then I have to go in here and right click on this and modify. And I have to modify those 2 contracts down to 1. So there's a lot going on. So this is not for everybody. If you want to give it a try, definitely do it on a sim count. So there I pushed the stop up. I went ahead and added a lot to that. I'm thinking, you know what? I've been having so much fun, and we've made so much already, and it had been up and down and up and down. Perfect, basically highs and lows. I thought, man, it came up and hit that. So, there's a little thought process here of what you're going to do. And I thought, wow, it came up and basically hit near those highs, and it did so well moving down after those, highs were hit. I thought, what if we're going to get another move like that? So I put on another order, just thinking, I don't want to miss it. I mean, if I could just throw on one small little contract, make a little bit. I mean, look at this one. This one contract right here is worth $115 just on that, added to what everything else we've made. Okay, so I thought, well, let's just do it and see what happens. And I don't remember what happened, guys. I think I closed the trade out after that. Or it may have went down. I can't remember. But those are all the pictures I took, because after that, I just wasn't taking any pictures anymore. So I hope you like this. Again, this is very aggressive. I do not recommend trading like this every day at all. So if you do something like this, you need to pick a volatile time in the market. It's either going to be the start of one of the sessions, not the Asian session. It'd be the start of the London session or the US session, basically the first hour of, say, the US stock market. Nasdaq would be something you could do this with, and definitely power hour. Now, it doesn't always move like this. This moved very quickly and it moved nice, gave nice swings, which we don't always get that. So hope you enjoyed it. Again, if you do try something like this, I don't recommend it for anybody new. If you want to try it, definitely try it in a demo account, practice account, sim account, whatever you want to call it. And then don't do it with real money. I mean, it's fun, but make sure that if you do something like this, that you're taking profit that you're willing to lose. So if you make $500, if you made $500 yesterday trading and you wanted to risk $200 doing something like this, I'd be fine with that. But that's after you demo this, after you try it. And again, these opportunities don't come that often. I've traded power hour every day, and it's always something different. So we don't always get this. Sometimes it'll bounce back and forth for a little while, maybe the first half hour of power hour real tight, and then it breaks out. So you have to be ready for a breakout. So you really need to know what the market phases are and what you could be up against before you decide to trade, something like power hour. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you on the next one.